الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Inshallah, our subject today is going to be about how to be a true follower for Imam Mahdi Salamullah alayhi. These days, especially after the death of the king of Saudi Arabia, like we know, many Facebook people users, even some mashayikh on the internet, even many people who read the stories, the narration of Ahlul Bayt, always they've been focusing about Abdullah, the death of Abdullah. When Abdullah died, the king of Saudi Arabia, the reappearance of Imam Mahdi will be very soon, very near. And then after that we are living, some people till this moment, some of the shia especially, they're still celebrating the death. And everything happening, for example, now in Saudi Arabia. With this lecture I'm gonna be involved a little bit with politics plus religion, because I want you to understand the fellowship of Imam Mahdi. What is it exactly? Is it just about science? Is it just about religion? Or it's involved everything together, so we can understand how to interact with what's coming, because what's coming is very important. So many people, many Shia now, you see them always following what is going on in Saudi Arabia. For example, if the king, the new king, he's trying to appoint someone from his sons, he's taken out different names from different the son of the different king. He used to be minister for something very important, the intelligence. We will see them celebrating, saying, hey, you know, what's going on now is good, because now they're fighting between each others. And whatever happened now, they're trying always to say what all the narration is right. I want you to know first the narration from Imam Salamullah alayhim. They said something about name Abdullah, but they never mentioned that he's the king of Saudi Arabia or the king of Jordan or the king of anyone. There's no narration that said that when that guy died, immediately Imam Mahdi is gonna come after he dies. Why? Because always Allah Azza wa Jal, there's a big test here. For example, when Moussa Salamullah alayhi left the Jewish, he told them, I'm going to leave 30 days, right? And then Allah Azza wa Jal, he said, since you've been very good servant 30 days, I'm gonna give you 10 more. And in this 10 days, what happened? The Jewish left Allah Azza wa Jal and they start worshipping the cow or the ajil. So in 10 days they changed their religion. And this is where the test comes. For example, now after this narration, Imam Salamullah alayhim told us, there is going to be a test. And we learn from Allah Azza wa Jal always why He tests people, because He always wants to see the most pure. Many people now, they're claiming to be the followers of Imam Mahdi Salamullah alayhi. They always go search for the narration when he's gonna come. They keep searching for what is the reason for his coming, to the point that some people send me, does Imam Mahdi gonna speak from Egypt, or he's gonna speak from Kufa, or to that point, you know, because they're always leaving the important information and then they're following the useless information. It's not gonna get you any place. If he speak in Egypt, or if he speak in the United States, or if he speak it doesn't matter. Why? Because all this not important. It's not gonna get you anywhere. This is what we call it, information that will not, Allah Azza wa Jal will not make you enter heaven because you know it, or if you don't know it, you're not gonna change anything with it. So now knowing how to get the information, what to follow exactly, is hard. Especially these days, we are in a day of fitna. There's too much fitna. There's too many people who keep speaking about Imam Mahdi. They claim they know Imam Mahdi so much, and then they keep saying to their students so and so about Imam Mahdi, but in reality, who have the truth? In reality, after experience, no one have the truth except who try to follow the footsteps of Imam Salamullah alayhi, and the one who understand their mentality, because Imams, they have the mentality of what Allah Azza wa Jal want us to know, to be and to function. How can we function? It's very important to know how Allah Azza wa Jal think, because in every aspect, in every place, in every steps we make, there's a test. Why? Because there's, for example, let's say 200 million Shia over here, there is 313 leader only from those three. Why? Because he want to filter. He's keep filtering and filtering and filtering those people to see who's the best, and then those people will be with Imam Mahdi. Why? Because they need to know who is Imam Mahdi for sure. They need to know who is he. Some people believe that those 313 are the most like ayatullahs, you know, they have so much knowledge, they have so much, they're very pious, they know everything. In reality, no. And we mentioned this before. Those people are very normal, but the only difference they are very pure inside. This is what makes them different. They can filter what is right, what is wrong. That's the most important. Why? Because, for example, we learned from Imam Ali and Malik al-Ashtar. Malik al-Ashtar, he was the general, like we can say, like he was the closest one to Imam Ali that time. What happened? They were fighting with Muawiyah. And Malik al-Ashtar, he's very well known about, he's very strong and he's very pious. And while they were fighting with Muawiyah in Ma'rakat, in Siffin, yeah, and this Ma'rak, what happened? Malik al-Ashtar, he was able to go directly to face Muawiyah. You know, Muawiyah is the real enemy, not all the people following Muawiyah. So he stood there face by face. What happened is Malik al-Ashtar, he took his sword and he immediately wanted to kill Muawiyah. Yani it will take maybe few seconds. But Imam Ali called Malik al-Ashtar to stop. Stop, do not kill Muawiyah. Why? Because there is something happened that if he killed Muawiyah, Imam Ali will lose the battle, even though he's killing his enemy. Only 1 second. Yani if Malik al-Ashtar did not have this strong will to understand who is Imam Ali, he wouldn't stop. For example, imagine yourself now, you're standing face to face, let's say with the devil, and you're able to kill him just by one hand, and Imam Mahdi told you don't stop. Will you be able to stop or not? Because if you kill the devil, you will be always known as the devil killer, and everyone around earth will start even to worship you, not just to. So this is a pride for you killing someone very evil, right? So if you know who is your Imam, you won't do it, even though if he's Muawiyah, even though if he's the devil, because he ordered you to stop. So this is the big test over here. So when he told him to stop, he stopped. Now over in these days, we see Shia are taking different routes. For example, there's few channels always in a TV. They open those this big channels, satellite channels. They always keep saying, for you to be a true Shia, you have to do what? La'an and tabarru' from other people, publicly. For example, you say this Sahaba, la'anatullah alayh, this companion, la'anatullah alayh, and so on. You list the names, and then you say publicly that those people are bad, and publicly you say those ones I don't follow. And what's gonna happen later? What's happening now? The fitna. Sunnis are killing Shia because of that. They keep saying Shia are always attacking the companion of Rasulullah that we respect and we love. And those Shia, they said about those Sunnis, they're kuffar. Anyone that those Shia, they don't, if like the other school of thought, they don't believe in what those people believe, immediately they're kafir. So we're becoming like what? For some of the Shia, like what? Like the Wahhabis. For example, in the near future, if those people continue, and they want to continue, and they will continue because they are very strong in money, and they can take brains for in which way they say, do you don't love Imam Ali? You say yes, for sure I love Imam Ali. You say if you love Imam Ali, you should deny the people who killed Imam Hussein, and they keep saying till you become very emotional. And when you become very emotional, you do whatever they want to do. In reality, religion have this. We have to do this, but how? We have to do it secretly between you and yourself. You need to know who is the right companion, who is the wrong one, but what? Between you and yourself. You don't do it publicly. Why? Because this is what we call it bara'a. You cannot love two people who killed each others, right? For example, in Syria, if you go there, one of the graves, and he died. Was a companion with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He died with Imam Ali fighting Muawiyah. On his grave they wrote, قُتِلَ هَذَا الصَّحَابِيُّ الْجَلِيلُ. This Sahabi, this companion, was martyred by the hand, radiyallahu anhu, yani may God bless him, by Muawiyah, God bless him. In his grave, till recently they changed that, because people, they always make fun of it. How Muawiyah radiyallahu anhu killed that companion radiallahu anhu. So how the person who killed and the person who killed by what, and both are peace be upon them. It's impossible. You cannot include those two people together. But this is how the other school of thought think. And us, we need to know who has the right to fight, or who is right and who is wrong. This is how we define our religion, our school of thought. So basically, all this will have a big effect on Shia, and that's why Imam Mahdi now by this time should come back. Why? Because if we continue this ways, we have a few routes that Shia is going. The first route is very dangerous one, is through those people, and those people are known well who are fed by. They're very known, everybody know that. And then the second route are the people who follow everything. For example, now, if we have a thinker, a regular person who is doing lectures, people will send me sometime question saying this, can we follow you? I was like, what do you mean follow me? I'm not an imam. I just teach stuff about between religion and science. And then they will say, can we follow that person? Why you want to follow that person? You see, the Islam, when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when with Amir al-Mu'mineen, what they did, they said there's an idols. You don't follow idols. Idols before, they used to be stones, right? We broke we broke those stones. But the problem now, we are idealizing people. For example, your marja is your idol now. You have a big picture for him home, and if someone says something about him, you will go and hit the person who is criticizing that marja, right? Because you basically worshipping that. Your marja is supposed to be the a'lam, the best, right? And in my belief, there's no marja that is a'lam. It's not comparable to have a marja that is a'lam. I'm sorry to say that. We've been always, for example, when you go to any sheikh or any sayyid, he will tell you, you have to follow the a'lam. Let me tell you something. This is very important point. The marja always should be in a level that is comparable with what's going on now. You cannot have a marja that is giving you something that is very old. It's not comparable. Let me give you an example. In 1940, I'm not gonna mention names. I'm gonna go very fast at this point. In 1940, there was a marja, Shia marja. He was very well known, famous. He was almost all Shia follow him. He had a fatwa in Hajj that when you go there, if someone hit you while you're turning around the Kaaba, even by mistake, or someone, because it's so busy there, sometimes you'll be squeezed like you go this way. We know in Hajj, if you turn your head back, you have to repeat the tawaf around the Kaaba, turning around the Kaaba. So that marja, many people told him while we were there, we were like someone hit us and then we had to go this way. He said, you have to repeat your Hajj. You have to repeat it because Allah Azza wa Jal is not gonna accept that. He did that for almost 20 years. Till someone, he raised the money, that marja. He said, now it's time for me to go to Hajj. So he went to Hajj, and while he's there, he started turning around Kaaba, and then people start hitting his hand. So after the sixth time, he said, I have to repeat because this is my fatwa. And many people, they told me that, and I told them, you have to repeat your Hajj, so I have to follow that too. He did his tawaf for more than 56 times, and then still people hit his back. Subhanallah, because Allah Azza wa Jal is teaching him a lesson. So by principles, things, for example, theoretically, many people are very smart theoretical. By theories, you put a hand on paper and then start writing. They're very smart, but they did not apply whatever they're thinking about by give it to the people. They didn't go do it themselves. And most of our maraja are like this. They give you maraja, for example, fatawa for Hajj, and the last time he did Hajj maybe 30 years ago. So all the fatawas now are only for the 40 years ago, or they took this fatawa from 1,000 years ago. You see, while the Hajj is completely changing. Now we have multiple stages in Hajj when you go there, so everything's changing. So if you don't have someone to follow the reality, he's real time there for you. I don't care if he's alam or not. It's not gonna get me anything if he's theoretically alam. like this marja I told you. So that marja, when he came back from his Hajj, he changed half of his fatwa about Hajj. Why? Because he tried them himself. Now, for example, you live in the West. The marja live in, for example, in Qom or in Iraq. And those people over there, they have Islamic government. يعني مثلا, for example, it's not going to be hard for you there to find halal food. It's not going to be to find like many components. And for many years, we see, for example, our ulama always try to get you back. While there's many people now, for example, from the Shia are learning. We have many people, they have PhDs, many people, and they say why this is haram. And when you go, for example, when you go back and they will start to do like talking to the Maraja, we see always black wall is blocked. So those people will get away from religion, right? Why? Because they always been saying, why we're following those people if they don't want to listen to us? And what's happening here, different people, they're catching those people. For example, the people live now in London, or those people who they have new satellite channels or so on, they're taking those people and they're turning them to extremists against Shia in general. They will say, you are the follower of Imam Ali, you love all the Imams, so you have to support us against the Maraja, against the people in Qom. You see? So what's going on now is people are fighting with each other. And soon we're gonna start hearing about that. And lately we heard about that in our community too. If you think what happened in Masjid over here in the community is not related to that, then don't think it's just about Iraqi Lebanese. No, it's not like that. What happened here is between two big Maraja, and it's a fight that it's gonna be connecting to every masjid here in the United States, and not just here in London, and in Africa now, even in the Middle East, and even in Najaf itself, because it's happening now. And this is the biggest things that will shake Shia. Why? Because we've been succeeding. For example, when we were doing debate with the other school of thought, that we've been winning always, because the philosophy of Ahlul Bayt always follow Quran, and Quran always right? So while we're doing that with them, those people, they start giving money for other sect inside Shia to start fighting back with Shia. So, for example, 2 years ago, we were always debating about atheism. Many people, alhamdulillah, turned back to Islam. We've been debating with Christians. Many people, alhamdulillah, they turned Muslims. Even different school of thought, they're turned to be Shia. But now what's happening, we're facing something big, is what? Is the Shia struggle. And this is very bad to say that. This is what's happening now. So who is right? For sure, like Imams told us always, one sect is right. You cannot have both are right. You cannot have those two both are right. So who is the followers of Imam Mahdi? Who is the real follower? Here will come. Here we will be the filter. First, what is the knowledge? How we can acquire the knowledge? It's very important now to know what is the right knowledge. The right knowledge now is all sciences. Like, for example, if someone asks me, what do you recommend book to read? I will tell you all books, whatever you can read. But only keep in mind two things. Allah Azza wa Jal, Allah, the way that He describes Himself. He is not energy, He's not smoke, He's not whatever you can imagine. He's outside everything, even outside time. Nobody can know what He is. And then Ahlul Bayt, Rasulullah, the Prophet, and Ahlul Bayt, all. In this form, Imam Ali, when they took the Khilafah from him, what did he do? Did he get the sword and start fighting? He didn't do that. Why? Because Allah Azza wa Jal told him, you cannot do that now. There's a test for people. If people chose you, he will be back, right? When people get back after 20 years or 30 years, they told him, we want you back, Imam Ali. Did he say no? He said, no, I cannot follow except your wills. When you want me back, I'll be back. So he went back. Did he fight before that? Did he kill the 3 Khulafa? No. He protected them. Why? Because he knew that if anyone will raise a sword against them from the follower of Imam Ali, what's gonna happen? Islam gonna be immediately broken, right? Because many people are looking to destroy this religion. And this is what's happening now. If someone come to you and approach you, he will tell you, you have to do so and so, because if you don't love Imam Ali, then you have to do bara'ah. Then the first question you tell him, why Imam Ali didn't do it himself then? Why he didn't do it himself? Why he didn't fight them? There were only 10 people, but Imam Ali was looking further than that. If he would fight those people, what's going to happen? Islam immediately will be no more a religion. Exactly, this is what's happening now. So, you love Imam Ali, you love all those Imams. You love all those Imams. But you cannot attack any other sect. We cannot attack any other sect. We need to say and we need to act, and this is the truth. They are our brothers. Those people, the other school of thought, they don't really know what they believe in. For example, in Middle East, there's how many people? There's, let's say, 400 million or 500 million in Middle East. 90% of those people, they don't really know how to read and write. So how can you say, for example, 400 million or 1 billion person are kuffar all because they don't believe in Ahlul Bayt? And if you ask them, do you love Ahlul Bayt? They will say yes. You tell them, give me their names, they don't really know who they are. Even the companion of Rasulullah, many times I was debating with them. I told them, can you list 5 of the companion of Ahlul Bayt? They will list only 3. They don't really know their names. So how can you judge they are kuffar, they are infidels? You see, so in reality, no one is infidel. No one is kafir. The only kafir, the only infidel is the person who you approach in the right way, in the right science, and he refuses it with his heart. This is the kafir. But a person who lives in different country, he doesn't know anything, or he live in Middle East, or he live in any country, and he doesn't know anything about his religion, and immediately you put him under the categories of infidel, then what's happening here? Then you become yourself an infidel. Because Allah Azza wa Jalla, He said, you cannot say to anyone you're an infidel. Why? Because only Rasulullah and Ahlul Bayt, they can say those people are infidels or not. Why? Because they are infallible. Allah Azza wa Jalla gave them the right science. So, being with Imam Mahdi is what? Is following only yourself. You don't get busy always with what happened with the Saudi Arabia king. You don't follow, for example, next alamat, the earth will turn back. The earth is not gonna turn back. Let me tell you something. Now many people, they're even in 6 months ago in Facebook, almost everyone I know, Shia, they kept sending this to each other. They say NASA said, and I went to NASA website, I never found this information. They said the earth is gonna turn back. Okay, the person who took physics 101, he would know this is a lie. Earth will not turn back. How? For example, there's a narration that said that. Let me tell you, yes, there was. Let me tell you how the explanation, how we can explain it. For example, now Earth is turning 22,000 mile per hour. 22,000. Now we are flying in space at that speed. Imagine yourself driving 70 miles per hour. Especially the guys now, they will be happy with that. Suddenly you shift back, reverse. What's gonna happen? Suddenly you're driving 70 and then you shift. Dispute that there's a safety system inside the car that won't allow you to do that. Even if you did that, the computer will not take this order till the car completely off, and then it will turn back because there's a safety now. Let's say you did that immediately. What's gonna happen? And there's no safety, no nothing. Either you broke your transmission, it won't move the car anymore, or if it did have, let's say we have a strong transmission, what's gonna happen? You will immediately fly from the car out. You will be ejected outside the car. Maybe you flew maybe like 100 meter away, maybe like 10 miles. You'll fly 10 miles because you're driving that fast, 70 miles per hour. Imagine the earth is turning 22,000 miles per hour, suddenly stopped and then reversed. What's gonna happen? You will be like in Sri Lanka, and you will be in China, and you'll be in India. This is, let's say, if you're still alive, because you flew so high. You will be able to fly to India. Do you know that? 22,000 miles per hour. So in 3 seconds, scientists will say everything will die on Earth, because while you're flying, you're not flying alone. There's million car, million airplane. You'll hit everything you can imagine. So you'll be like a kaftanay or kibbi while you're there. You see? So nobody will be alive. So why Imam said that? In reality, Imams, they're telling us what? To study, to go to science. We ask science, how the earth will flip back. You will see that the inside the lava inside earth, North Pole and South Pole flip. When those flip, what's gonna happen? You will see that the sun is coming from different side. Why? Because let's see, when you got your GPS, you say this is north and this is south, right? Let's say that, and then the sun over here, and they will. Imams told you the sun will come from different area, right? Let's say I flip back completely, the earth flipped. What's gonna happen? The sun will become from the same place, but it will be from different side. You see, this is how science will explain things. That's why we have to analyze things before we judge. You see, Earth didn't go back and didn't flip. Everything's still the same, but the system inside that changed. It's like you're saying changing the software. This is the real explanation for that. And if you say this to some people, they will say, no, you're disputing the miracle of Allah Azza wa Jal. You see, I don't want to go that far. I'm not disputing. I'm just showing you something that Allah Azza wa Jal is. Which one more miraculous, to have earth flowing back, or the gravity inside earth will change? The more miracle is inside. Why? Because there's many things inside earth will change after that. Why? Because Allah Azza wa Jal, He's telling you after that what's gonna happen in different form, in different way. You see, so approaching knowledge has to be this way. Has to be taking things very slowly. If I didn't study, let's say, gravity, if I didn't study physics, I won't able to know this information. No, but I didn't open a book telling me that this is how is it, what's gonna happen. It's gonna happen this way. No, I didn't open a book. But you have to understand the theology of Ahlul Bayt, how they think. They don't just send you the information. Just you open and you say, okay, it's gonna happen. Then tomorrow it's gonna happen this way. No, you have to study it between the lines. What do they really mean? What is the real meaning behind that? This is the right science. This is what I'm saying. So, for example, I want you to think when Imam Mahdi is gonna come this way. We don't want to wait Saudi Arabia to be destroyed. We want to build our countries to prepare it for Imam Mahdi. You see, there's a big difference. This is the difference. Those people now, you open the other people, the people who tell you need to do la'an for Sahaba. You open their station, every single day they have a show that they follow kings, and Twitter now they keep talking about each other. They will keep saying, they will tell you, we're celebrating because those kings are fighting together. Alhamdulillah, Saudi Arabia gonna be destroyed soon. This is what they say, and they're celebrating. You know, they bring a cake and then they start cutting the cake and then they eat it. It's very stupid. It will make us look very stupid, as Shia, and we're not like that. We cannot celebrate because there's a country under destruction. We've never been like this before. Why? What's happening to us? You see? So, what we really need to do, not focus on those things. We need to focus on us. We need to build our countries. We need to build ourselves. Because Imam Mahdi is looking for us. I repeat it, I always say it. Imam Mahdi is not muntazir. Not muntazir, Imam Mahdi. He's not the awaited one. He's awaiting us. He's waiting for us to change. Because 1400 years, we keep claiming that we want him back. And in reality, he's waiting for us. And as I always said, every 100 years, history will repeat itself. Last 100 years, there was a Abdallah who died in Hijaz, by the way. And there's a Abdallah who lived in Urdun, in Jordan. And there's a Abdallah who lived in Lebanon. And they died in that time. And then there was fighting in Middle East. And then all the signs that are appealing of Imam Mahdi, they've been happening there for the 100 years. And 600 years ago, same one, same name, same actions, same reactions happening. If you study history I always say it, history will always repeat every 100 years. Every 100 years you're gonna have a big scientist. Like, Einstein, 100 years, he lived that. Believe it or not, in 2030, you're gonna have a big scientist that's gonna change all the approach of physics. Same thing like Newton, same thing like all those people. Even in religion, you're gonna have someone like Imam Khomeini. Every 100 years, someone gonna come. He's gonna restore all these sciences, in religion, in science, in mathematics, and in all sciences you can imagine. Allah Azza wa Jal will always keep this like a renewal for earth. And same thing for Imam Mahdi. Imam Mahdi, he is what? He's waiting for us. If we don't want to follow what he wants us to change, to be like Malik al-Ashtar. You know, when I said when he ordered him to stop, then he stopped immediately. Are you able to stop? Ask yourself always, are you able to stop? It's very hard. And many people, they say, I want to be with Imam Mahdi. And then the smallest test will immediately break them. I just want to tell you the story about that guy. He said it before, but for the new people, he's been praying for almost 50 years to see Imam Mahdi. He want to see him. You know, he keeps saying, please Allah, show me Imam Mahdi, please Allah. Suddenly he was praying there, and there's a man sitting next to him. And that old man, he said, who are you? He said, you know, you've been asking Allah Azza wa Jal all these years, 50 years, and now I'm here. You didn't know me? So if he really meant that to see Imam Mahdi, you know, he would be able to know that's Imam Mahdi, but he didn't know. So he said, I am the guy you've been asking Allah Azza wa Jal to see. He said, Alhamdulillah, you know, I'll give you my soul, Imam Mahdi, you know, I'll do whatever you want, so and so. He said, okay, that my followers, the people who really follow me, do not eat from haram. He said, wow. He said, your house you live on now, Imam Mahdi told him, the house that you live in now is haram. He said, how? I bought it from halal money. He said, yeah, but the person who owned that place, he took it from orphans. You know that, so you need to do something about that. So anyway, he called the owner. He said, so and so, I want to return the house, or I'll take the money back and then I'll give it to the orphans, because the owner, he didn't want to return it. So he took money, the same amount, and then he gave it to the orphan. Now what happened to that person? He's almost broke because he took all his money to give it to the orphans. So Imam Mahdi, he gave him the first test with what? With money. You know, to see is he true or not. And then after that, Imam Mahdi said, something going on still. The old man, he said, what, Imam? Whatever you want. He said, you know, your wife is your sister. He said, how my wife is my sister? She said, while you were young, she was your sister in rida'a. She was, nursing when before the old people before, they didn't have Cerelac, or they didn't have the whatever. Yeah, they didn't have all this. So if for example the mother have a trouble feeding her son, she will take him to someone else. And you know, in Islam, if you take that for 40 days, what's gonna happen? Those two people, they become like a brothers and sister, because they drank from the same milk. So your wife now is your sister. And what you need to do, you need to divorce her, and then you need to tell everyone that she's your sister. And that guy, he looked at Imam and he said, no way, you want me to do that? I'm now old man, you know, I have grandsons, you want me to say to everyone that she's my sister? And he started weeping, he said, he exited the room where he was sitting with Imam and he said, there's a crazy man inside, take him, I don't want him anymore. Inside, he's talking like this about Imam Mahdi. Now if you know this story, like you see it, it's funny. You see, it's really funny, you know, we can say it, but let's taste what he was under. Let's taste what he was under. Why? Because, you know, if you want to be with Imam Mahdi, he's gonna test you. Very hard, very harsh. Not with the same story like I told. He's gonna look at your heart. You say, what is the most important for you? I'm gonna look at your heart. Imam Mahdi will say, what is the most important for you? You wanna be with me? Okay, let's begin. He will go inside your heart. He will see what is the most special for you, and then he will test you with it. With money, with your wife, with your maybe your husband, your kids, your whatever. You cannot imagine what is it, and it's very painful. Let me tell you, very painful. But what, you have to be patient. And you cannot say, you know, when this happened, you know, I did it for Imam Mahdi. Now I should be with you. Can you say that after? You know, this is how I want you to look at Imam Mahdi, to see him this way. He's gonna test you by something. You wanna be with him, you're gonna be tested. The more the test you pass, the more you'll be closer to that place. Either you have 3 levels. You have the 70,000 person level at the beginning, and then after that there's 40,000. There are 40,000 people, and after that there are 313. Which one are you from? If you really pass the tests, but which one are you from? The more purity you have, the more knowledge you're gaining, and knowledge is not what will guide you to where to have wisdom inside you. It's not like Google, you know. Now you go to Google, you ask him whatever question you can, and he will answer you back immediately. But is Google wise? For example, if you ask him about wisdom, does Google know? No, it's just information, right? Reading too much sometimes. I know many people who 24-hour reading, they're reading. You ask them anything about life, they don't know how to do it. You ask him, how do you treat your wife? He doesn't have any idea how to treat her. You ask, what do you do? He doesn't know. He just know how to read, and this is not what we want. I'm not looking for someone who read, it doesn't understand. You can read one line a day, just one line, and this line will change your life. But who you read for? You just go to, for example, when you go to library, you go to the science fiction stories and you keep reading those ones. It's not gonna get you any place. You're just gonna have a big imagination. Nothing. You're not gonna have anything. You go just to physics and that's it, and you go to chemistry and that's it. No, you have to always open your eyes on everything, because sometimes, subhanallah, you go to some place, even just to the Quran, you just open it, and then you find the line there. It meant you. How many times you were struggling inside you, and then you asking Allah Azza wa Jal for answer. Please answer me, Allah. And then suddenly you open a TV, and someone in a TV show, it will say a statement immediately after you pray. It is like she's talking to you, right? It's like Allah Azza wa Jal is answering you. It always happen. Even by opening the Quran, sometimes you see a line saying something like a solution for you. He will always answer you His way. Allah Azza wa Jal, He do it like this. Do not think that He doesn't talk to you. Don't think Moussa, he's the only one who's able to talk to Allah Azza wa Jal. Every one of you is Moussa. Even though my name is Mohamed, Moussa, I'm the closest, but but every one of you is what? Is Moussa. You ask Allah Azza wa Jal and He answer you. You know, the important thing, I want you to be sure about that, because Allah said this way: the way you look at me, the way I treat you with. For example, some people, they look at Allah as what? As the most oppressor, and they fear Him always. They pray because they're always so feared. He will be like this for you. He will be like this for the people who believe He is like this. And the people who see Him as the most forgiving, the most merciful, He will be like this for them. The people who they're sure that He will forgive all their sin, He will forgive their sins, because He didn't create us to make us suffer. He just wants to clean you. I want you to look from His side. Don't look from your side. Some people, let's say now there's a big earthquake in Cuba, let's say 1 million person died. Now all the atheists here will say, oh, where's your God? Your God is killing those people. First thing, those people was brought by Him here. And then secondly, they were dead, right? But the death is not the end of the universe. The death is the beginning for something better. So those people, those 1 million people, they did go to Him, back to the heaven. They're not suffering anymore here. They're not suffering anymore here. So when you look from His perspective, you see death is a new beginning. You see, when you see people dying, this is a new beginning. It's not the end. Why? Because for example, the people who live in Somalia, they're so hungry always. Always you hear some people here, they're saying, look, dear God, what they're doing to the Somalian people. They're always hungry, they don't have water. But if you go to Somalia, you see those people are so happy. They're saying, Alhamdulillah, we are like this. We are getting closer to Allah. This is our test. We will die this way and we'll go to heaven. They're happy, because they don't have the complication whatever we live now here. We have cars, we have beautiful houses, electricity is 24 hours, we have HBO home, we always watch beautiful movies, but we're not happy. We're not happy at all. We have the most newest phone, best computers, the fastest internet, 100 megabytes and more now, and we're still not happy. And you go to Africa, those people, they barely live in water and some soup, and they're the most happy. Is it just the money? No, it's not the money. It's knowing that you live for a reason. And what your reason is to fall in love with Allah Azza wa Jal. Is falling in love with Allah Azza wa Jal. That's why you're here, because He wants you to fall in love with Him. This is basically the religion. That's it. This is all if someone tell you, explain what is religion. Religion is the constitution that make you fall in love with Allah Azza wa Jal. And that's it. It doesn't have all this complication, it doesn't have all this fighting, it doesn't have anything. That's why Rasulullah, he said, if the people know why they were created for, no two people will fight. Nobody will fight with nobody. Because they don't need to fight for anything. Because every single one, he has his own castle in heaven. He has his best thing he can imagine in heaven, and no need for fighting. But we are fighting here because we're greedy. We're not looking for what's going to happen after. All what we're imagining now is, when I'm going to turn 30, I'm going to have 6 kids and 5 Ferraris outside and 6 castles and with a bikini, outside, to swim and stuff like this. We're not thinking about any other than us. And this is where the problem becomes. So we go back to the same subject. Imam Mahdi, he's there. And all this fitna, those people are waiting for you to fall for them. What you need to use your head. And do not fall for those people. Do not fall for them. Do not go toward, they're saying when you love Imam Ali the most, when you see the people are like you, even if they're Christian. Imam Ali, he said what? He said, man are two. How closer to you? A brother in religion and a brother in humanity. You see? They're still your brothers. We don't fight with nobody. We don't fight. We always make peace. And plus what? We always look toward Imam Mahdi. Always look at the very end. This is our target, Imam Mahdi. We don't want to follow the route. We don't want to lose the route. We want to always follow the straight path that will direct us directly to Imam Mahdi. Any question? Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wal asr inna al-insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa amilu s-salihat wa tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bis sabr. Sallu ala Muhammad.